Hello everyone, John here, your host on the Prepared Mind channel. It is July 4th. It is Independence Day. That unique day when in America we celebrate telling tyranny you can stuff it. And we didn't just say it, we meant it. And then we used force to defeat the enemies and throw them out of our country because what did we want? Freedom. Now, what is going on today? The only story I paid attention to are the various protests around the nation regarding immigrations and custom enforcement. ICE. Right now there's this big anti-U.S. government push because the government is trying to enforce laws that protect our borders and protect us inside from people on the outside who may or may not be good, who may or may not have good intentions, who may or may not want to be real Americans versus subversive anti-American immigrants. We can't know until they've been tested and looked into and researched and background checks. And then we know. You have to go through all this process. But see, the people out there that are protesting don't want that process to occur. What do they want? They want open borders. Would they like it if we said, well, you can have a bank account, but we need open access for everybody? I guarantee those little socialist pricks everywhere, what would they do? They would scream up and down, no, because people are going to steal our money. That's our money. And I'll say, no, wait a minute, you're communists. Share and share alike. If someone else needs, it's each according to their needs. And from each according to their ability to give. Yeah, you little commie. So if someone else needs your money, they should be able to take it. Because you have it and you don't need it. It's in a bank. See if they would like that. It's very similar to this open border policy where these people can come and they come into our country and they get free stuff. And everyone else gets a little bit of their money taken out of their life to pay for other people who shouldn't be here. It is amazing to me, the level of hypocrisy and just general ignorance on the part of these little socialist miniature dictators. So they're out there protesting on Independence Day. Now, their right to protest is recognized by our government in this country. Because why? Because it's in the Constitution, right? So the government recognizes it, and that freedom, and I hate to use the word allowed, but it's not prohibited because the government is the side that is supposed to be prohibited. But what do these socialists want? What do these communists want? What do these little fascist pricks want? Because they don't know what they are yet. They're still growing up. They could be a socialist social communist or a social fascist. We don't know. They don't know. Anyways, that said, they want to destroy the Constitution, yet they use the Constitution. Right? Now, the Declaration of Independence. Independence Day is not about independence from the law. It's about independence from tyranny. I'm all about freedom. Patriots are about freedom. These little commie pricks, these little Democrats, they're not about freedom. They're about lawlessness, lack of law. Do you see how that works with their anti-constitutional stance? They're anti-constitution, they're anti-rights, they're anti-freedom, they're anti-independence. But they're using our law against us. It's my opinion that if you proclaim yourself to be anti-constitution, as in you want the Constitution destroyed so something else can replace it, then you forfeit your right to protest, among many other rights, because you don't like them in the first place. You're just using our rights against us. And I have to say, it is time to recognize who the enemies of freedom, the enemies of America, the enemies of the Constitution are. It's these little communist pricks. So right now, what are they doing? They're protesting against immigration and customs enforcement. They want other people in this country of all ilk. I'm sure if they were in charge, though, they would make sure that only MS-13 and only scumbag drug dealers and only worthless, entitlement-minded fruitcakes are allowed to cross the border. Everyone who wants to work hard in Mexico, Democrats don't want you. They would kick your ass out. But why would they want this? Why would all these Democrats up here would want all of these immigrants in here? Don't you think that with more and more and more and more people getting freebies, handouts, entitlements, that there would be less for them? Yeah, they're hurting themselves in their ability to get entitlements. They don't realize it, because right now they see everything as a big fat cash cow. And they want to bring our system down and destroy it. Well, guess what? It's happening. They're not the major cause of it, but they're contributory. You can pile the communists in the aggregate amount because their big brothers and sisters in Congress are spending money like a bunch of drunken sailors in a whorehouse. That's what's going on. Right? And they're wasting our country. They're destroying our country. But Democrats, socialists, communists, what do they want? They want us destroyed. So they need more of these people in here. So they take from the pot of money, the treasury, so that these people that come in are happy and they vote Democrat, which is voting socialist, which is voting communist. So they're inviting these people here to destroy our country, so those same people that come here for a good life, what they think is a good life, are going to be guaranteed nothing in less than a generation. They want to make the U.S. of A. every bit as bad as Mexico. That's what these communists want. Now, of course, the uber wealthy Democrats, they're always going to have their millions. That's why they're fascists, because they're actually holding those millions of dollars through corporations. Alrighty. So some of these protests are turning violent, right? Haven't heard any bombs go off. Haven't heard about any mass shootings. It's just another day of stupidity. And in a way, I'm thankful that nobody is really being killed en masse. There's no false flag going on. Not yet. There could be. May happen. I may not even hear about it. I'm taking my two sons to a quarter-mile dirt track race with modified cars. And as soon as that's over, we're going to go park our asses on the side of the road, kick our feet up in some lawn chairs, and watch a fireworks show. That's how I plan on spending my night here. It's coming right up on the 4th of July. On Independence Day. Only I believe in independence, and I believe in freedom. These people out there, these protesters, they believe in the opposite of freedom. They don't believe in independence. And what's funny is they're using their freedom, our independence from tyranny, to invite in a different type of tyranny. You see, they're against big government and all these laws that stop immigration. They're protesting immigration. How strongly do you think a communist regime would put down people crossing the border illegally to take money from the communist people? They'd be there not with nice little wagons where they arrest families and arrest individuals and take them to a nice shelter and give them air conditioning and food and water and a clean place to sleep and showers. No, communists catch you and they put a gun to your head and they shoot you for violating their law. They make it well known that they're totalitarian, they're dictatorial, they're autocratic, they're authoritarian to the max. And they enforce that viciously in order to set an example for everyone else who would think to break their law. So it cracks me up how these little commie pricks think that the government that's in place right now is so bad when the government they dream of, ah yes, the communist government they dream of, the Soviet Union, that style, is so iron-fisted that it makes our current government look pretty weak when it comes to law enforcement. So go ahead, you little commies, keep pushing for immigrations and custom enforcement shutdowns. You're going to end up finding out at some point that the government does have some teeth. Additionally, you're going to find out that the rest of America, we don't want illegal immigrants here. If you want to be an immigrant, do it lawfully. The Declaration of Independence was not about lawlessness and destroying all law. It was about getting rid of tyrannical government and government that did not observe the fact that the people who owned the country, lived in the country, were born in the country, had a right to have their country protected and also themselves protected from tyranny. It is tyrannical of these idiots to demand that we let our guard down and let our border down and invite lawlessness to exist. We did not say declaration from lawlessness or declaration from law. We said declaration of independence from tyranny, from despotism, right? And from lawlessness. When the king acts outside his scope of authority, when the sovereign, whether it's a government or an individual, acts outside the scope of their authority, they are lawless. They are outlaw. So when you look at it from that perspective, a declaration of independence from tyranny is a declaration that we want law. We want consistent, enforceable, reasonable, legal, natural law. So, you're watching this on July 5th. You may or may not be back to work. And we're going to see how this all shakes out. It's hot. It's miserably fucking hot. It's summertime. That's what happens every summer. It's nowhere near the highs we've had, though, at this same date. But it's definitely hot. Right? Hot means conflict. Hot makes people short-tempered, ill-tempered, aggravated. July 4th, 1776. We were tired of lawlessness coming from a king. July 4th, 2018. We are sick and tired of lawlessness coming from socialists and little communists that are protesting around our nation. I am sick and tired of their lawlessness. I want real laws that are in line with the spirit of the Constitution and the spirit of natural law. Right? I declare independence of the lawlessness that's going on. Right? And we'll see how that gets enforced. Now, on July 4th, 1776, that's when they signed the Declaration of Independence and put it on a boat and sent it over to King George. It took a little while to get there. They didn't have email at the time. Took them a while to be fully insulted. Right? So if you declare independence of lawlessness today, it's going to take a little time before those gears start turning and other people start realizing it. There's going to be some battles fought. It's going to be about the people and these lawless types. Just as the king and his redcoats were lawless, right? Who is the great sovereign? Soros, Clinton, Obama. These high-level puppets, they are lawless, and they're even what's called the minions out here in all the big cities and all the colleges that are going to all the ICE buildings, Immigrations and Custom Enforcement. They are the lawless troopers demanding more lawlessness. You don't have to put up with it. You don't have to love it. I'm not recommending you use violence to stop it, but you certainly don't have to agree to it. And you can oppose it. You can oppose it. You can protest against them. You can encourage others to protest against them. You can support those who protest against the lawless protesters. Right? You can encourage law enforcement to uphold the law and understand that what those people who are throwing a fit, protesting, trying to shut down government, one of the few branches of the government that actually does its fucking job, you can let law enforcement that you want them to do their job and put an end to the lawless behavior of these rioters. And they are rioters. What they're waiting for is the impetus or the excuse to riot and loot and maim and harm people. It's coming. So get ready, right? I'm going to get ready myself. I'm going to go have some fun with my sons, right? Because the area I'm in, pretty much a conservative bastion. I don't expect a whole lot of lawlessness, because if they tried it, there'd be a whole lot of people that wouldn't allow it. So, welcome to post July 4th. Chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Thank you everybody for supporting everything we do and supporting each other and educating everyone who wants to know what the fuck is going on around here. There's a push for lawlessness, and if they win, that lawlessness will be replaced with a tyranny that this world has never seen in the past. I'll talk to you soon and explain more about what I mean there. Bye-bye.